Welcome to the Empire State of Mind podcast. I'm your host and coach, Nathan Askew. And today's episode is a special one because not only is it our first proper episode podcast, it's actually a video podcast. So if you're listening right now on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, head over to our Facebook, Empire State of Mind, or our Instagram at Empire State of Mind UK, and you'll be able to watch the video as well. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, let us know what you think. And in today's episode, I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into who I am, how the gym started, Empire Sports Performance, and also how we started Empire State of Mind. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's going to be an open book and just tell you all about myself. So if we turn back the clocks all the way back to 2007, the year I left school. I left school with only 3 GCSEs. I got 2 C's in science and 1 C in maths, and the rest of my subjects were all D's. I wasn't really interested in school. I was too busy talking with my mates. Wasn't interested. But when I left school, I was lucky enough to get an apprenticeship as a steel fabricator, plater, which I actually still do today. And the same week I started my apprenticeship, I actually started glass collecting in one of the busiest pubs in town at the time. And when I was working there, I seen a lot of stuff, ended up doing a lot of stuff. So sorry, mum, dad, but I ended up taking drugs, also ended up gambling a bit as well. And I'll get into that later. So between 2007 and I'm going to say 2012, because in 2012 I actually boxed for the season between 12 and 2013. I had 4 fights, won 3 out of 4. So I had a bit of a purpose, bit of motivation, drive, focus, whatever you want to call it, clarity. I was working towards a goal and it felt good. But up until then, I didn't really have any. I was just going to work, working in the pub, going out. There was no real goal or focus there. So up until 2012, I was just fucking floating through life. And then 2012-13, I had a bit of drive, and then I ended up knocking boxing on the head, and again I ended up losing my drive and just floating through life. And in 2014, I ended up falling out with a girlfriend at the time. I ended up going off the rails, but at the time I was having such a fucking good time, but I wasn't doing my body or my mind any favours at all. So yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But even then, without going through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because I actually ended up crashing my car on a Wednesday night, drink driving, and yeah, I'll admit I'm a fucking dickhead. I should never have done that, but I've learnt from a mistake and I'll never do that again. And I'd advise anyone never to drink drive. So, but looking back as well, even though that was a massive disaster at that time, it was actually a massive blessing, because off the back of crashing my car, I thought, fuck it, I need to sort my life out. So I ended up booking tickets to go Australia, got a visa and that sorted, because at the time as well, my brother was living out there, boxing. So I went and stayed with him. So I went to Australia 2015 for just under 12 months. And I would advise anyone who's feels like they're maybe floating through life with no sense of purpose, direction, or no goals, if they're struggling to set goals, is to actually do a bit of travelling, do a bit of work abroad, or move away, try something new. Because honestly, the life experience I gained going over there was unreal, and I'm forever grateful for it. I ended up working on a farm for 3 months in the outback. That was mental, absolutely mental. Like going out fucking feeding the cattle. The property was 38,000 acres, and they said that was a small property. I was like, fucking hell, it's a fucking big one. Fixing tractors, going out driving in the utes all day, herding the cattle. Where you see them, if you've ever watched them on the programs where they've got the helicopter herding the cattle. Like, I was part of that on the quad bike. I ended up crashing the quad bike though in the first 15 minutes. I ended up fucking rolling the quad bike, but it was fucking good crack. It was awesome. So, but whilst I was in Australia as well, I actually ended up getting into calisthenics. And for those who don't know what calisthenics is, it's like high-level bodyweight exercise. So like doing muscle-ups, so you've heard of pull-ups, so muscle-ups is above the bar. doing like human flag. You'll have seen the guys hanging from the post with the legs out, doing that, front levers, back levers, hand balance and stuff, pistol squats. And that's where I got into that. And then I ended up coming home in 2016, end of January. And when I got home, my brother wasn't far behind. Me and my brother had talked about why don't we open a gym, trying to open a gym together, Cali and boxing, fitness. So I got myself qualified. I done my level 2 fitness instructor qualification, and I ended up going teaching calisthenics, like class in as a class at a CrossFit gym, and I think I'd done that for maybe 12 months. That was at a local CrossFit gym, and then ended up in 2000. That was 2018, and in 2018 we play a game in working called uppies and downies. Have a Google of it or a YouTube of uppies and downies working. It is organised chaos, no rules. There's a ball, slightly smaller than a football, leather ball that gets thrown off, and at a halfway point, uppies have got to take it up to Cowan Castle, downs have got to take it down the docks, and they hail the ball. And there's no rules to this game. And I ended up being the first person ever to hail all 3 balls from 1 year. It's never been done before, and I ended up being the first person to do that. And off the back of that, my business partner Frank, who actually plays in the game as well, is a fellow uppie. No, I can't remember ever seeing him in there actually, until once I met him. And then he Facebooked is like, who the fucking hell's managed to get 3 balls? Searched me on Facebook, had a look, and he came across my calisthenics page at the time. So there was videos of me doing muscle ups and all that stuff, and he was like, fucking hell, that'd be alright for his lad, because Frank's lad Tom, he actually does jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, taekwondo, and I ended up, so he sent us a message and about wanting to doing some coaching with him. So I ended up doing coaching Tom and his mate Ryan as well, just in Frank's garage, doing like bit of fitness, but with like calisthenics, and that's where Small Spartans. So in the gym we actually run a class called Small Spartans, which is calisthenics for kids, like a lot of core work, upper body, no weights, just all body weight, and that's where that was actually born. Well, I was telling Frank that me and my brother were looking to open a gym up, and in that time as well, me and Daz had went and looked at a couple of rooms in a community centre, and they were only small, but we went and looked at them, and we were all for it. My dad went and had a look as well, and we were like, yeah, we'll get into that. And then I was telling Frank the crack about it, and Frank was asking questions about the gym and my brother, and a week later, I'd said to Daz, I think Frank wants to maybe invest in us because he's asking a few questions. And the following week, Frank ended up asking or saying he'll invest if we were interested, which he did, and that's how we all met. So from getting them uppies and downies balls, that's how we ended up meeting Frank, and then the gym opening up. So from then, we went and looked at a unit, the one where we're at, end up getting it. Whilst we were it was a derelict building. Have a look on our Facebook's, Instagram, you'll be able to see a picture. It was absolutely run down. It had been robbed loads, and whilst we were in there doing it up, we got broken into twice. We got tools nicked and everything, but we just kept going. We kept showing up, and we managed to turn it round. And I think we got the building in that must have been 2018, the back end of 2018, then officially got it signed over properly, because after we got broken into, the landlord had to get that sorted. So we ended up, I think we opened in October 2019, September 2019, that's when we officially opened. And since opening up, we've had hundreds of people through the doors. We've had all sorts of teams, and Daz has been running the boxing, where he's been getting 20, 34 ladies boxing again. I've been running functional fitness and calisthenics, doing kids classes. We've had PTs in there as well. To be honest, our business structures a really good one because our unit's big. We actually rent a bit of space out, which helps towards our rent. So yeah, from 2019 when we opened, we were only open a few months, and then COVID happened in March, didn't it? So of 2020. So we ended up closing our doors, and whilst our doors were closed, we ended up having a mentor, business coach called Paul Mort. Make sure you check him out on Instagram at Paul Mort1. He's fucking unreal. He helped change my life around and helped change our business. And it was like the spark was coming up with Empire State of Mind. So when we closed our doors, we had about 80 members, and then through that first lockdown, I think we lost about 20. Once we opened back up after the first lockdown, we ended up going up to 170 plus members. So we absolutely smashed it. So this was with Paul Mort, so he was like our business coach. And then from then we came up with Empire State of Mind. And if you don't know our mission statement already, I'll just quickly tell you. Our mission is to empower others to create a meaningful, purpose-filled life full of intention with relentless energy. And like I was saying before, when I was floating through life, I felt like, looking back, I never had a purpose. I didn't have any meaning. I had no intention. So that's the idea. That's what we're trying to help people, is to set goals. So we came up with the Empire, the State of Mind, and we use the 6 pillars, the main pillars of your life. So you've got your endeavours, that's who you are, that's your lifestyle and who you want to be. You've got money, you've got physical and mental well-being, intellect, relationships and experiences. And it's just about setting goals in each of them areas and working towards something to give you that meaning and that purpose. And when you've got that, you do have relentless energy. You're like a new person. Like, already now, there's the guys inside our programs, life transformations. Like, guys had bonuses, they've had job promotions, weight loss, complete change in mindset. Like, a couple of guys, you wouldn't even recognise them from how they've been like 2 or 3 months ago, and they've absolutely smashed it. You know, we've helped show them the tools and strategies to find motivation, even though motivation is not really, it's all about your motive. And that's why you should set empowering goals that give you energy. Because when you set goals, if the goal doesn't give you energy, that's like me wanting to learn fucking German. I've got no interest in learning German. I'd never do it. I'd never complete that. I'd never get that done. So you've got to set goals that empower you, give you energy. I've been through this myself of fucking not having any direction or purpose, taking drugs, gambling, fucking the amount of money I've wasted. I don't even want to know. It'd be fucking thousands. But I can hold my hands up now, and I've taken responsibility. I'm actually sober now. 3rd of January was my last drink. I wasn't drunk, but it was the last time I had a drink. I'm 69 days sober now. Fucking loving life. And that's why I want to help, because I've been there. And I'd love to be able to help people turn their life around, give them that bit of direction and a bit of purpose. And that's a bit of an insight to who I am and where we got to where we are. And I hope you've enjoyed it, listening to us ramble on. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking. So if you've got any questions, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, or if you're already watching, just leave us a comment and let us know what you think. And thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks again, guys.